What up, people? Yes, I'm back. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. You know who it is. I'm Dedrian Colon, House of Wrestling, and yes, this is the day one review. I was going to say pay per view, but in today's premium live event, that's what they're calling it, premium live event, it was really interesting, really cool. If you live in the Midwest, particularly in Chicago, there's a snowstorm going on and there's a whole bunch of snow being dumped on. So this was the ideal, if you're a wrestling fan, this was the ideal event to be airing while there's a snowstorm going on. Thankfully, no issues with internet and power and all that other stuff. So far, so good. Just a lot of snow. That's it. But yeah, this pay per view was pretty interesting. It was kind of a an escape from everything that transpired the in 24 hours before that regarding the whole AEW Tony Khan Big Swole tweet incident. That was a whew, that was an atomic bomb on Twitter. But this was a nice pay per view to just, hey, let me enjoy something and just exhale. The unfortunate thing is most people were going into this premium live event. I was going to say pay per view. That's going to take some time to get used to because they said it a lot during day one. So bear with me. But yeah, uh, maybe an hour, 2 hours before it was notified. Shout out to Sean Rossap for dropping that Roman Reigns, unfortunately, he tested positive for COVID. He released a statement that he is vaccinated. So, uh, well wishes to Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. The guy's been killing it since he came back last year. Man, I just hope everything the best for him and his family, and that nothing spreads or anything. He just able to quarantine, get healthy, test negative. His family tests negative and everything, and all that because hey, he does have a family and he does have kids, and he's around um, family members that are of age and everything. As he stated last year, as one of the reasons why he didn't keep wrestling once the pandemic started and everything. So again, well wishes to Roman Reigns. Get well soon. We want to see you back, but more importantly, we want to see you healthy and your family healthy. But yeah, whew, this pay per view. A lot of people were skeptical how things would play out with Big E, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, and Bobby Lashley. And then when the Roman Reigns news broke, it was also confirmed that Brock Lesnar was added to the Fatal 4 Way, so it was a Fatal 5 Way match. And when that happened, people, including myself, were like, they're probably going to have Brock win. They're probably going to have Brock win. And a lot of people didn't mind it. It was just that we, and I'm including myself in this, we wanted him to either pin Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens so it would set up for him and Big E to face off for the title, so Big E legitimately has a gripe like, hey, I lost my title, but you didn't pin me. And that would set up something that, whether it was Royal Rumble or even WrestleMania, hey, that would be dope. Um, but yeah, like WWE, logic doesn't necessarily play a part into their creative. And yeah, Brock Lesnar pinned Big E, gave him an F5, pinned him 1, 2, 3, and Brock Lesnar is the new WWE World Champion. He is the champion for the Raw brand, which leads many to believe, and I strongly think this might happen. This might be one of their pivot moves creatively, that we could see Brock Lesnar, the WWE World Champion, versus Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, at WrestleMania, where they will unify the World Championship, which, if you really look at it, it kind of makes sense because the ratings for Raw is kind of SmackDown, two above. If you have one world champion, that rating will go up. And if Roman Reigns defeats Brock Lesnar, now you have Roman Reigns not on SmackDown, but on both shows. So that might happen. But yeah, other than that, this pay per view was Yeah, okay. The Becky Lynch Liv Morgan match, that was really good. Um, One thing that stood out about this match was the crowd, as far as their reaction, fluctuated. There were moments where they were, hype. They were definitely hype throughout the New Day, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston versus the Usos match, which started off the premium live event. Uh, they were into that. But after that, it was just yay, and then just long moments of just quiet. They did pop a lot during the RK Bro Street Profits match, more so because Migos, the rap group, came out, which was really weird because you would think that they would have Migos from Atlanta come out to the Street Profits, who come out to this hip hop rap beat. It kind of correlates, but no, RK Bro comes out and then Migos comes out. So that was very like, all right, WWE, you're gonna do whatever you want to do. But yeah, this was a pretty good match. Um, yeah, but getting back to the Becky Lynch match, that was pretty good. Becky Lynch wins. Honestly, I don't know where they're gonna go with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. I mean, that's with a lot of unfortunately, a lot of wrestlers in WWE outside of Brock, Roman Reigns, um, Lesnar, pretty much that main picture, that main bubble. Again, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Biggie, Bobby Lashley, um, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and you can kind of throw in Drew McIntyre. That those guys are in that bubble where you kind of know where they're going to go. But outside of that, it's just we'll see what happens. The Miz and Edge match was pretty interesting. Miz comes out with Maurice, and then Edge, his entrance, he came out to the Brood entrance, then stopped during the entrance ramp. Then came it it switched to his "You Think You Know Me" entrance, and that was pretty weird because it was like anybody who's watched WWE so much, they've always done mashups, with the Undertaker, Kane. I'm trying to think, Big Show, Jericho, and stuff like that. And it was like it would have been better if they would have had "You Think You Know Me," then transition into the Brood music and just have them come up. But it's WWE. We've come. This is kind of like the Johnny Mathis song, "I've grown accustomed to your face." And in the case of WWE, I've grown accustomed to your habits that make no sense. So yeah, it was a pretty decent match. Maurice tried to interfere, and then out comes a returning Beth Phoenix. Uh, she was previously on NXT as a commentator, left that. Now she's up with her husband Edge. Uh, she comes out, she beats up Maurice. Miz looks at him, and then all of a sudden, Edge is just waiting in the corner, and then boom, he spares him 1, 2, 3, and Edge wins the match. Um, yeah, it was a pretty good match. Drew McIntyre, Madcap Moss was kind of like the match that you could have left on SmackDown. Basically, you could have left it on SmackDown. Um, it was all right. Literally, I'm gonna. It was literally. It was all right. The crowd. That match is when the crowd just like the energy from because it came right after the Usos uh, New Day match, which the crowd was into it. But once that match came out, and the thing is that it's nothing against Baron Corbin or Madcap Moss. It's just the way WWE has booked Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin. It's boring, and the somewhat jokes that they try to tell aren't funny. They aren't creative. It isn't like it's just annoying. And if you're watching, you're sitting through, you're just like, okay, can they just hurry up, wrap this up? And oh god, it was ugh, ugh. As my favorite TV show, The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon Cooper. But yeah, outside of that, the pre-show was pretty interesting with Cesaro and Ricochet versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Ricochet tried to perform a. Hopefully, I get this. If I don't get this right, bear with me, people. But he tried to do a flipping moonsault, and his foot uh, came across Ridge Holland's nose, and Ridge Holland was busted open. Went out to the ring and stuff like that. So that was pretty wild and crazy. But yeah, this pay per view was. Let me rephrase that again. They didn't call it a pay per view. They called it a premier or premium live event, which um, some people are going to call it weird. But if you have Peacock, if you don't have the Peacock uh, that you pay for, the actual free Peacock network, there's like a purple icon on certain content, and it has premium. So that's where the premium uh, live event name comes from. So it is what it is. But yeah, this is it's going to be an interesting month in WWE. Also on this pay per view, Johnny Knoxville from Jackass, who actually was a guest host on when they were doing the Raw GM guest host back in the 2000s or 2010 back then. He announced that he is an entrant in the Royal Rumble, and again, I've grown accustomed to WWE's weird, sporadic, discombobulating creative habits. It is what it is. But yeah, outside of this pay per view was uh, again, it was a cool pay per view for a Saturday. If you just wanted to chill, if you're in certain parts of the United States where it was, the snowstorm is hidden, it was cool to just sit back, chill, relax, watch a few watch this pay per view, tweet, and stuff like that. And it is what it is. But yeah, this getting back to the Lesnar uh, Fatal Five Way match. Um, Me personally, um, I can do that, and I'm not editing this out. Um, yeah, the Lesnar Fatal Five Way match. Me personally, I thought, and it was just my thinking that with everything that transpired with AEW, Tony Khan, that whole situation, which me personally, he shouldn't have done it. Any issue that you had should have been done privately with a phone call, video chat, however you're going to commit between you and Big Swole, not on social media. Um, it was just very disrespectful. Hopefully, I anticipate some apology is going to come up probably in the next 24, 48 hours, easily. Um, you know, but I would, I was thinking like, okay, WWE, you should be aware that AEW's to a lot of their fan base, certain parts of their fan base, they dropped the ball, and some of them may not watch AEW again unless something changes, which is unfortunate. But hey, that's the world we live in. You do something like that on Twitter, it's consequences. Um, but just thinking like, hey, there's all this controversy surrounding AEW, and just they're kind of, how Tony Khan in the tweet, it came across like he was very dismissive of black representation that Big Swole mentioned in her podcast, which she wasn't. She wasn't, just disrespectful or anything. It's just a feedback. And WWE has Big E, who is a black world champion, who's been on the Breakfast Club. He's been all out. Iowa State game. He introduced one of the, I can't remember what boxing match it was, but he came out to that. UFC, I mean, he's been all over. And it's like, hey, if AEW is getting this negative press as far as black representation, you have the opportunity to actually do something pretty cool in Atlanta, which the city has a huge African American population. Like, you have something cool to do here to say, hey, this is our guy. Look, where he's representing a community that feels like there should be more. This is our guy. And nope, nope. And the way you could have, if you wanted to get the belt off Bobby Lashley, Big E, you could have had, again, getting back to what I said earlier in the video, you could have had Brock Lesnar pin Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens. That way you set up Big E coming back like, hey, I didn't lose my title. I want a rematch. Which legitimately and logically to the fans, and it makes sense. But no, Brock Lesnar, F5 by Big E, 1, 2, 3, he's the new champion. And reading online and reading on Twitter and Instagram and everything, people just feel like, hey, this feels like Kofi Kingston all over again. You know, Big E won the title back in October, September? Yeah, I think it was October, late September, October, till January. You know, and me personally, I think, I can't remember, I got to go back on my tweets and everything and see what I tweeted, but I feared this was going to happen. Because when Big E won it, their ratings were already low, and there was many people suspected like, hey, they're doing this to bump the ratings. People were like, no, you know, it's his time, which it was his time to win, but it's like it was time to win, but then they're in this conundrum because their ratings are low, and I don't know, it could have been done better. His whole reign as champion should have been done better. He was on multiple Monday Night Raw shows where he had to defend the title twice. He was in multiple matches, three-way, four-ways, title contender matches. Just bizarre. And it could have been done a lot better. And where they go from Big E, where they go with Big E from here, who knows? I don't know. This WrestleMania is going to be very weird. It's more than likely going to be Brock and Roman Reigns, but it could be something else that might be just, they might add more to it to make it look more appeasing, but it might just be even more like, I'll watch it, but man, this is all right. It is what it is, but that's that is what it is. But yes, that is WWE's Day 1 live premium live event. I got to get used to it. Bear with me. And no, I am not editing it out. A lot of people have said that on live, post shows and everything. It is what it is. But yes, that is the review for WWE Day 1. The first video of House of Wrestling in 2022. I got more content coming up. So stay tuned. But thank you guys. I want to take this time to give a special shout out to all the new subscribers to House of Wrestling. We're literally 9 subscribers away as this video is being recorded and will be released. We're 9 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. So thank you for that. Like, share, comment this video. Follow House of Wrestling on all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And this year we will try to do more on Twitch. Just looking for something special to give you guys, something special and unique. But yeah, man, it's fun. I hope you guys are safe, healthy. Stay safe, stay healthy with the Omicron variant out and everything. You know, take the proper precautions and stay healthy. Hope your families and loved ones stay healthy. And it's gonna be it's gonna be a good and great 2022. Hey, I'm Dedrian Colon. This is House of Wrestling. Thank you guys. That was the Day 1 WWE Premium Live event. Peace out.